This is Seth with SethPerler.com. I'm an executive function coach out of Boulder, Colorado, and that means that I help students who struggle with this thing we call school. And I totally believe in education, and this video today is for students, and it's about money. But if you're a parent or a teacher watching this, I really do want you to watch this, and I am going to apologize to you students at the beginning of this video for all of us adults. I apologize for me, from your parents, your relatives, the adults in your life, the teachers in your life, school in your life. We apologize to you for not educating you on something very important, which is money. We are not teaching you to be what's called financially literate. And if I look a little bit angry, I am, because I am frustrated and I am scared for you. So I'm making this video, students. I don't care if you're in 5th grade. I don't care if you're in 12th grade. I don't care how old you are. I'm making this video for you to give you a little bit of information, to educate you a little bit about what I think is important about money. Now, my last tip, number 10 today, is going to be, forget about what I say, educate yourself, but I'll get there in just a moment. First of all, what you want is you want to be financially literate. We will teach you algebra. We will teach you geometry. We will teach you calculus, stoichiometry, trigonometry, statistics. We will teach you extraordinary things about math, but we will not teach you how to balance a checkbook. We will not teach you about the interest on credit cards or the interest on buying a house or retirement, because it's so far off. You don't need to think about that. Yeah, you do. We are not going to teach you how to do simple things like pay a tip to a waiter or a waitress at a restaurant, how to calculate tax in your head when you're at the store and you're purchasing something, how to set a goal to buy something that you want in the future, how to purchase a car and what that means and how much you're going to pay in interest. If you buy a $25,000 car, it seems like a $25,000 car, but you're going to pay thousands of dollars in interest on that car. $25,000 isn't $25,000. If you have a job that pays you $100,000, you're not getting $100,000. You're paying $20,000, $25,000 to taxes. Plus, you have all kinds of other things to pay for, especially if you pay for your own health care like I do. So I want to teach you some things about money. And what I want for you students, I want you to remember this word, these two words, financial independence. Start Googling that at this, even if you're in 5th grade, start learning about it. What is financial independence? How do I become financially independent? How do I become financially literate? Start Googling that, guys. Start educating yourself, because we're dropping the ball and we're not going to teach it to you. And we are going to leave you out in a position that is going to be very difficult for you as an adult. And what I want for my students and what I want for my viewers and what I want for you students is I want you to have a great future, a future with possibilities, with opportunities where you can be happy. And if you're watching my video, you struggle with executive function, that means that your possibilities are compromised because you're struggling with this ability to execute. And that's totally fine. That's why I do what I do. I struggle with it. I've always struggled with it. But how do we create a great life despite the struggle? That's the point. Now, if you struggle with executive function, that means that you struggle with late work in school, zeros, missing work, you're doing test corrections, you're struggling to get things in on time. And that means that when it comes to money for you, you are the one who's going to be paying the bulk of the late fees and high interest. That all that means, you don't need to know all about that right now, but that means that if you struggle with executive function, that you are going to be paying a lot. And for me, in my life, I paid thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to late fees because I've struggled with executive function. And what we want to do and what I want to do in this video is I want to help you understand a little bit about money and give you 10 tips or 11 tips here that will help you to save money and to have a better life. Not because you're rich, but because you have the money to pay for life. So, number one, when I said about late fees and interest and stuff like that, what you want to do, and what I do with all my bills, is you want to get set up on auto pay. Now, if you're in 5th grade or something, you don't really need to worry about that. But if you're starting to have a phone bill, or you're starting to have auto insurance, any of you teenagers that are starting to drive and stuff like that, you want to get everything on auto pay so that there's no chance of you not paying your bill. It will get paid automatically. You will not forget it. You eliminate that problem. Number two, buy your own stuff. Even if you're in 5th grade and you want something really bad, say to your parents, wait, I want to save for that. I want to buy it for myself. The reason I want you to start practicing buying your own stuff as much as possible is so that you can learn what it's like to pay tax on it. You can learn what it's like to save on it, and you can feel the sting in a very positive way of what it's like to pay for your own stuff. If you feel that sting of what it's like to pay for your own stuff, it's going to help you be much more conscious of the money that you're spending, so that you'll be in a much better place when you're older and you won't struggle as much with overspending money that you don't have. Because you're getting into a world where you guys are going to get lower pay and it's going to cost more. So we're leaving you a very challenging world to live in. You can do this, but I'm giving you tips to help make it easier. In terms of buying your own stuff, I also want you to start paying your own bills. Now, that doesn't mean everything. I know that you may not have a job or be able to, but if you have a cell phone, for example, tell your parents, hey, I want to pay for my phone bill. I want to pay you $5 a month or $10 a month or $20 a month or $1 a month. I want to feel what it is like for me to have to pay a bill on the last day of every month to you, so that I can understand that. I want to contribute. I want to learn that so that I know how to do that. So buy your own stuff, pay your own bills, or start learning the process of those things. Next, learn to save for your goals. So when you want something, one of the first things that I wanted was a guitar that was $370. And at the time, I was getting paid about $7 an hour. So and it took me about 60 plus hours of work to make that $370. Now, that is if I didn't spend anything on anything else. Obviously, I did, but I had to pay taxes on that money. So let's say I wanted a $1,000 guitar and I paid, let's say, 15% taxes. $1,000 in my work minus the taxes is about $800 to $850. I don't get $1,000 when I make $1,000. Okay, you have to pay taxes on that, and at your age, you're probably going to be paying 15 to 20% taxes on the money that you make. So anyhow, I was buying this guitar and I wanted it. My parents wouldn't buy it for me, and I had to work about 60 hours to get one guitar. Okay, 60 hours of my life to get that. Now, again, I did not just do it after 60 hours, and I wasn't working 40 hours a week. I was in high school at the time, or it might have been after high school. I don't know. But it took a long time. It was hard to do. So learn to save for your own goals. Set a goal. Say, I want to get this thing. I don't want my parents to buy it for me. How am I going to get it? It doesn't matter if you mess up the goal. It doesn't matter if it doesn't work out. It doesn't matter if it takes you longer. But start practicing learning to save for the goals that you have. Next, open a bank account. Number 4, open a bank account. Open a checking account or a savings account. Learn to use a bank account. Learn to balance a checkbook. It doesn't matter if you only have a few bucks in there. Start learning what that's about. Because, again, we are dropping the ball. I'm sorry. We're not going to teach you, so you need to go figure this out. Next, use cash. Number 5 is use cash. So when you spend your own cash, as opposed to a check or credit card, or as opposed to having someone buy something for you, when you spend your own cash, there's more of a sting. Now, you want that sting. You want to feel what it's like to go somewhere and they say, and you find something, you're like, oh, it's $100. I want to buy that. And you go and you spend your own cash on it. And they say, well, actually, because of tax, it's $109. And you go, what? I need $9 more. And you have to go. And then you get something, you just spend $100 on it, and you get home and you're like, I really don't care about this thing. It's really not enhancing my life, $100 worth. And so I want you to spend cash so that you learn what money, quote, feels like. Because when we're using credit cards and we're borrowing money with a credit card and we're paying interest on it, or when we're using checks, it just doesn't feel the same as cash. So next, number 5 was use cash. So try using cash. Number 6, one of the best tips I can ever give you is don't spend beyond your means. Don't spend money you don't have. So don't borrow money to spend on things you don't have money for. What happens is people start doing that. They start getting what's called in debt. They owe they owe money to credit cards, or they owe money to the bank, or they owe money to people. And it's a very bad habit to get into, and it's a very bad habit. It's a very difficult habit to get out of. So learn to not spend beyond your means. If you don't have the money, don't buy it. Wait until you save and you have it. The next one, number 7, is try minimalism. I have a very minimalist life. I have very few things in my life. It's not that I don't have anything, and the things that I have are things that I like. Like I like guitars. So I have a couple of expensive guitars that I really enjoy. Okay, I'll spend money on my expensive guitars, but other things I don't care about, I don't buy or spend on. Like I have the bare minimum. So really, in your bedroom, in your space, in your desk, even in your backpack, get rid of everything you don't need. Simplify your life. There's a lot of other benefits to minimalism, but the more stuff you have in your life, the more stuff you have to maintain. I used to have at one point 12 guitars. That meant I had to clean 12 guitars. I had to tune 12 guitars. I had to change the strings for 12 guitars. I had to buy stuff to maintain 12 guitars. I had to have more space for 12 guitars, and I can only play one at a time. So now I have two, one great acoustic, one great electric. So try minimalism. The more stuff you have, the more stuff you have to maintain, have less stuff. But that also means you're spending less. And that means that you can save more and have a better future spending it on things that really matter to you. The next one, number 8, is track your spending. Grab a little notebook or get an app on your phone or something and start tracking every penny you spend and look realistically at where you spend your money. So, if you go and you buy a soda every day, and let's say you spend $2 a day on that soda, in 365 days, you're going to be spending, let's see, 600, 700, 720, 730 or so, in with tax, 740, 750, about $750 a year. Would you want to give away $750 for a bunch of soda? Like, learn to like water. Be minimalist with that. Anyhow, the point is, track it. See where your money goes. Is it where you want it to go? If it is where you want it to go, great. But really think, when you spend on one thing, that means you can't be saving or spending on another thing. So really consider that. Track it. Finally, number 9, don't listen to the hype. Advertisers want your money. Okay? There are going to be people in school who think that they dress a certain way, or they have certain objects or electronics or certain games or certain things, and there are going to be advertisements that you see in commercials and billboards and stuff that are going to say to you, you need this. If you buy this thing, you're going to be happier. If you only just had this one thing, your life is going to be so much better. People are going to sell you on things. That is their job. A lot. Anybody who's selling the stuff, and you need to really not listen to hype and really think in your own mind. What do you want? Do you really want this object in your life? Do you really want to buy this service? Is this really where you want to spend your money? It's your money. Like, really, don't just listen to stuff. Advertisers are there to convince you to spend your money and give it to them. Okay? So don't listen to the hype. Really listen to your own mind. Number 10, learn about compounding interest. That means that when you save, you can save $1,000. And I heard some statistic where if you're like 18 and you save $5,000 by the time you retire, I can't remember if it was something like 340,000 or some crazy number. But what happens is that your interest will compound. It will build on it in a positive way. So if you start saving in something called like an index fund or a mutual fund or certain types of things, it will give you more and more and more money on that over the years. The problem is you can't spend it. And finally, number 11, students. I know this has been a long video. We're in 13 minutes in, but I hope this 13 minutes of your life saves you thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars literally in your life. So I'm hoping that you'll take something. But the most important thing I can tell you of all of the tips today, number 11, the most important thing, students, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 12th, middle school, college students, all of you, the most important thing is this. Educate yourself. Education is the key. Learn about money. Start researching compound interest. Start researching financial literacy. Research how to become a millionaire. Research whatever you want. But start researching it so that you can be financially literate, so that you can have a good life. And the more money you have, the more you can give to charities, the more you can do things that matter to you, the more you can help people, the more you can help your family, the more you can provide a good life for others. But you have to learn this. We are not going to do it for you, the adults in your life. We have not created a system that is going to teach it to you. So educate yourself. It's the most important thing I can teach you about this stuff is educate yourself. Educate yourself. Read, read, read. Watch YouTube videos from people who do this stuff. Ask people about it. Ask the adults in your life, hey, are you happy with the amount of money that you have? What advice do you have for me? If they're happy with it, what advice do you have for me? If they're not happy with how much money they have, what advice do you have for me? Ask people who care about you. Give me some advice. Help me. What should I do? Teach me, educate me, guide me. With that, my name is Seth Perler. I'm an executive function coach outside of Boulder, Colorado. My brain is fried after teaching you all that stuff. I wish you a fantastic day filled with gratitude and joy and peace and love and kindness. Have an awesome day. I will see you soon. Oh, by the way, subscribe on YouTube. Smash the thumbs up if you like this. Share it with somebody. And check out my blog at sethperler.com where I have all kinds of help for stuff like this. Take care.